The handling, processing, and marketing of fish products are essentially complementary functions of all food production chains. In many developing countries, women traditionally play a major role in these activities and dominate the markets either as buyers or sellers of food. For most women, marketing is a secondary activity which provides the only source of income. In my quest to find out about women who contribute their own quota to the economy, I embarked on the journey to Badagry and Ekpe, two fishing communities in Lagos, Nigeria. From the point of no return to the popular Okun River where women buy fish from fishermen, it took about 15 minutes on boat to get to dry land in this fishing community of Badagry. It took another 5 minutes of bumpy ride on dry land via a motorcycle to get to the shore. At the waterside, I met Abosede Durojaye, a middle-aged woman who claims she has been in the business of selling fish for 20 years. According to her, the men in the community fish, while the women buy and sell.
Fish business is a family business. The job can be very challenging because we don't have the facilities to preserve. Thus, we have to smoke the fish so that we don't lose our money invested in the business. I learned the trade for several months. You have to be very hardworking to do this business. At times, to preserve the fish during the rainy season, we have to smoke the fish. Oftentimes, I and other women stay awake till 3 a.m. to complete the local way of preservation.
She and other women in Badagry speak on the cost implication of doing the business.
Fish business is a lucrative business. At times, we make profits. Other days, we lose money. It is very stressful. At the moment, a bucket of crayfish costs 7,000 naira. After sales, we make between 1,000 naira and 2,000 naira. The government should please help the fishermen. They lack basic equipment. Before now, the cost of a bucket of crayfish is 4,000 naira.
Like this sack fish, we used to buy that one. Sometimes we buy fish like about maybe 200,000. If we sell and finish, we can see 150. So we can see 250. So if you don't no move, like maybe season by season, if you maybe as March, January, February, March, maybe it's down, it's not moving, we come to this side, we buy the fresh one, indirect, that is measurement. We can buy that 10,000, we can sell it 11,000. Sometimes we can buy it 10,000, we can sell it 7,000. We used to buy fish of 6,000, now we are buying it 9,000. How could you make it? If the government help them, maybe they return the fuel back to 100 naira. So we can buy the fish maybe 5,000, 4,000. So we can see some gain. Because fish is very, very expensive that we even sometimes if we sell it, we remove firewood money, with of our hala, we can't even see anything.
Despite having a coastline of about 853 kilometers bordering the Atlantic Ocean, as well as fresh and mangrove swamps, creeks, coastal rivers, as well as near and offshore waters, it is ironic that Nigeria still depends on fish importation to meet its fish demand. Eight out of the 36 Nigerian states, with 25% of Nigeria's total population, share the Atlantic Ocean coastline. Yet national supply cannot meet national demand. According to the 2016 Nigeria Fisheries Statistics Report, the country's annual fish demand is estimated at 3.32 million metric tons, an unsurprisingly high number considering a teeming population of about 186 million people. But domestic production stands at only about 1.1 million metric tons annually. This leaves a deficit of 2.2 million metric tons, which is largely supplied through fish importation. Research conducted by the Nigerian Institute of Oceanography and Marine Research, the country's bill on fish importation stands at about $1 billion annually. Titus Ola, a fisherman in Badagry, said there is a lot the government can do to ensure the fishing potential of the community is fully maximized.
When we get enough fish, there's no way to preserve it. So we need the government to assist us so that we can be able to promote the job. One, we need tools, the onboard engine, the canoe, net, and etc. And we need deep, giant standard deep pressure room. The community will have, there's no light, no equipment to maintain the business.
Badagry is a town with rich cultural heritage, prominent for its thriving fish market. The issue of epileptic power supply and underdevelopment in the community remains one big issue preventing the residents of this community from contributing to the economic growth of the country.
Ekpa is an ancient town that has been existing for many decades. Part of the job in Ekpe did by our people were fishermen and at the same time farmers. And Ekpe was founded by a name calling Huraka. Somebody called him Huraka. Huraka is a hunter. He names Ekpe as Oku Ekpe. There's an ant. Because the ant is very common in Ekpe bush. And when he go on farm, on hunting as a hunter, so this ant used to disturb. When I have asked her, Huraka, why can't you kill much animal? He said, there's an ant called Ekpe is disturbing. And by the time he says so, when he jumps his leg on ground, that's so the animals will run away. So that's how the name of Ekpe was founded. And then, before that time, Ekpe has been existing. The first settler is a fisherman, too. Is a hunter, too. That's the house we are calling Lugbasa in Ekpe. If they tell you, say, Ekpe Alaro, Omogumodedi, Alaro is the wife of Lugbasa. So they have been insisting. It's the smoke of their fire that Huraka saw before he comes to hunter in Ekpe. So that shows Ekpe has been an ancient town and been existing for long. But to know the name that it called Ekpe, if not, so it could have just been Ekpe, it could have been Alaro Ogumodedi. But because of that, hunter is turned into Ekpe Alaro Ogumodedi, which is one of the major towns that stopped the slave trade. And the slave trade aspect of it now is what they are doing as our boat regatta now, which we do as a yearly event. Because it's on this lagoon, they stopped this slave trade. So the people that engage in that war with what called Akala Julu, who used to come and who is the major slave trader man.
In Ekpe local government area of Lagos, I visited the Olowu market, popular for selling of different types of fish. There, I met different women in the fish business. Their main concern is to secure a steady living all year round for their families. During an interview with TVC News, they shared their daily experience in the fish business. For several decades, they have battled many challenges like poor infrastructure and lack of loan facilities to invest in the business. They want government to intervene.
I've been in the fish business for more than 4 decades. The market is not conducive during the rainy season. The road is always bad. The cold room the government provided for us is yet to be commissioned. We want government to help us repair the problem.
It used to be a very busy market, but activities right now is very slow because of lack of funds. Government should please collaborate with us. The equipment we use to go and fish is very expensive. When I started this fish business 30 years ago, to construct a boat and buy an engine was about 160,000 naira. Currently, you need 2 million naira to buy an engine and construct a boat. Most of us have run out of business. We had an association, but now we don't have that capacity anymore.
Reacting to this, the permanent secretary of the Lagos State Ministry of Agriculture said government will re-strategize on how women in the fish business can be encouraged.
The production of fish in Nigeria is 800,000 metric tons, and Lagos alone contributes 172,700 metric tons compared to the 2.7 million metric tons required in Nigeria, and the remaining is exported. And therefore, when you look at the Lagos State production, Lagos State is the major fish producing area in Nigeria. Apart from that, we have taken the fish business so serious that a lot of our women now depend on it for their survival and even for the sustenance of their family. What we have done as a government is to encourage them in the area of processing and preservation, and that they do from cold room up to smoking cleans.
Very big fish here, like orange fish, which they are using for this marriage, wedding. We have big catfish. We have big Chinese nose, paracuda, red snapper, soulfish. And you should appreciate something that's the same time we have sea, we have lagoon. The two was embraced by this separate division.
Ẹja tí àwa ń pa, iṣẹ́ ọdẹ ẹja pípa là ń ṣe. Fishermen ní gbogbo àwọn forefathers wa. Ẹja tí àwa ń pa ló ń jẹ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́. Ẹ ò lè rí ẹja tó bá pa ní omi olókun omi ró pẹ̀lú ẹja gan, ìyàtọ̀ wà láàrin wọn. Ẹja gan máa dùn ju omi ró lọ. Omi ró yẹn ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti àwọn area kan padà sékòó, padà sí ọ̀sà Èkó yẹn lọ sọ́nà Badagry lọ́hùn. Ọ̀sà tí wọ́n yàtọ̀ sí tiwa because ọ̀sà tí wọ́n ní taste iyọ̀ mìíràn ni pé wọ́n súnmọ́ olókun. Ẹja inú olókun yàtọ̀ sí ẹja tí àwa ń pa lẹ́pẹ̀. Ẹja tí àwa ń pa lẹ́pẹ̀ is the best. Ẹja tí Lagos State ń jẹ, gbogbo àwọn ọlọ́lá wa Ẹ̀pẹ́ náà ti wá ń rẹja láti Ìbàdàn, láti Èkó, láti Ọ̀yọ́ wọ́n wá.
Jumoke Kolawole, an indigene of Ekpe, told me the cost of different types of fish available at the Oluwo market. She said the least fish in the market costs 7,000 naira, which is about $20 US.
Fish business is big business and can be expensive because we don't have enough money. The men are limited on the number of fish they bring to the market. Some fish cost 50,000 naira and we can't display only one fish for customers to buy.
I buy fish oftentimes here. It's cheaper than what you will buy from retailers. I love eating fish because it's healthy and can be used for several delicacies.
Wọ́n bá dí aláwọ̀n tá máa ń kó ẹja ọsàn yẹn fún pé kán ṣọ́ra díẹ̀, wọ́n máa bá wa máa ṣọ́ra díẹ̀. Kán tó gbowó, wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ sọ fún wa. Tí wọ́n bá tà tán, wọ́n máa gbàrú bọ̀. Owó yẹn ni tàwa, tá máa kó fáwọn tá dá lókòwò, tá fi owó ṣe okòwò fún. Nígbà míì náà kẹ̀, ó lè jẹ́ pé ìṣọ́ra ajé làwa náà máa ní. Àwọn tá dókòwò fún yẹn àti mòye tó tó àti mòye tá máa rà lọ́wọ́ wọn àti mòye tá máa tà.
tí ọjà ò bá wá rọrùn tọ́jà bá pọ̀ bó ṣe pọ̀ yìí torí ẹja ti ń dé a máa mú fóònù a máa pè wọ́n pé ẹja ti dé kán dín owó bọ́n ṣe ń tà fún wa kán fà sẹ́yìn káwa náà lè rí nǹkan kan lórí ẹ̀.
dojúmọ́ la máa ń ná láti aago 10 àárọ̀ títí di aago 5-6 rẹ̀ lẹ́sìn máa bá wa ń bí kí n tẹ́ bá fẹ́ lóríṣiríṣi ẹja ló wà bàtà àwọn ìdojúkọ ni pé ewé yìí ló ń dààmú wa ewé yìí tó bá dé tó bá block gbogbo bíbá kò sí ta ṣe gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì náà ti try lé lórí wọ́n ti gbìyànjú gan wọ́n ṣe ń kó náà ló ń padà àyàfi tí Ọlọ́run bá bá wa fi ọtí kọ́kàn bá renovate àwọn ibì kan wà ní ọjà wọ́n need renovation like bí ìṣe àṣẹ ní mọ̀ọ́sì kò sí omi rárá kò sí náà kò sí omi tá a lè mú bí omi tap even kànga bọ́ọ̀ tí wọ́n máa fi jẹ́ kò sí abáfẹ̀sẹ̀ mú tap àti ra pure water kò sí omi general tap rárá nínú ọjà I have a good nurse àwọn ibì kan dẹ̀ wà nínú àwọn ọjà yìí wọ́n ti fọ́ àwọn slate yẹn ti fọ́ ọ̀tá ń sanwó fún gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì afẹ́kọ́ máa renovate ẹ̀.
One, the market itself just needs to be renovated. But the fear of renovation is, by the time they finish renovating, most of them may not be able to afford payment and get it back. So they are always scared of renovation. Because like the edge here, maybe they should have fenced it for security reasons, but they still need the water because it's part of their day-to-day existence. So there's no way you can fence off the water entirely. But they could still do something that during the rainy season, like all here, it's unpassable for customers. They need support of the government financially in their business because it's a day-to-day event. They buy, they sell every day. It's not something they can keep. Once they buy it live fish. And when it's dead, it's to their own loss, not to the seller's loss, because they will have bought it when it was still breathing. So once the fish is dead, it's to the seller's loss and to the buyers, well, getting more of a profit from there because you now buy cheaper because the fish is dead. But when it's breathing, yes, you can. That's when they can bargain with you. But except that, so if they are lost when the fish dies, they don't have customers to buy when they are alive. I think that's where they really need financial support because they need funds to buy and then access for people to come more to patronize them. So at least once they buy, they sell, they will not have to go through all these losses of the fish dying in the night.
This Yellowtail Owerri ẹja táwọn ń tà ń bí nìyẹn so ó ní ńlá ó ní kékeré ó látẹ̀lé eléyìí ṣe lè 3,025 so eléyìí rice lapper ìgbákẹ̀rẹ̀ so ó ní ńlá ó ní kékeré eléyìí bó ṣe wà yìí sìn ó wọ́n ju gbogbo àwọn eléyìí lọ toró dùn jù wọ́n lọ a lè ta bí 3,000. eléyìí shiny nose ọ̀fọ̀n la máa ń pè ní léde Yorùbá tiwa but léde olóyìnbó shiny nose irú eléyìí sálẹ̀ tàbí 6,000 5,000 so catfish torí blackfish yẹn yóò ṣe catfish this one is really catfish ọ̀bọ̀kún tiwa tó yẹ pé Ọlọ́run ló produce eléyìí kì í ṣe pé èèyàn ló produce so irú eléyìí sálẹ̀ tàbí 4 5 tí ó bá ṣẹja rárá a lè ta 5,000 bọ̀ àsìkò òjò làwà yìí a lè ta bí 4 3 5 eléyìí ẹjẹ òjò ni kò kí máa ń wẹ̀ lẹ́rù tó bá ti dà àsìkò òjò ló máa wẹ̀ lẹ́lẹ́ lélẹ́yìí torí wọ́n sì lè yí ẹ̀ ní kì í ṣẹjọ ojoojúmọ́ tó bá ti wá nísìnyí ó tún di next year June July August.
we want the state and federal government to come at our aid and improve our agricultural and fishing system, like how China, Japan, Hong Kong, and these people from Cyprus, you understand me? So how they encourage their people when they are fishing. So we want our people to be more encouraging, because we want the modern system. You know, we are still using old system. Although the Lagos State government are supporting, giving out board engine, giving out net, and so that. So, but still, we still want the modern system of fishing.
Ẹ̀yàn ṣàyí kọ́ bá kó lè iṣẹ́ síbẹ̀ kí industry wà ń bẹ̀ so fáwọn èèyàn ọmọ wa èyí tó ń kàwé láti lè ríṣẹ́ ṣe kò ní ìdípẹ́ àṣẹ ń lọ sí Ìbàdàn àṣẹ tó ń padà lọ sí Èkó kan ṣoyìn náà àwọn ọmọ tó yẹn bá tẹ́ bá wo ìgbà kan náà ní ààrẹ àyìnpẹja náà but alákọ̀wé náà ti pọ̀ nù wa ẹ lè wọlé kan sí gẹ̀ ẹ́dí graduate 5-6 méje ní ilé kan so tẹ́ bá rí tíjọba bá lè bá wa ṣe wọ́n lè bá wa kó àwọn investors wa láti wá ṣe fátì sí ẹ̀yìn ọ̀sà yẹn so àwọn ọmọ wa lè máa rí iṣẹ́ ṣe dáadáa.
People from various parts of Lagos visit the market to patronize the fish sellers. Millions of people globally, especially the world's poorest, rely on healthy ocean for jobs and food, underscoring the urgent need for sustainable protection of these natural resources. According to the World Bank, oceans contribute about $1.5 trillion in value added to the global economy. It is estimated that around 60 million people are employed in fisheries and aquaculture, with the majority working in small-scale operations in developing countries as at September 2018. For Abosede Durojaye and other women in fish business, fisheries and aquaculture play major roles in employment generation and poverty eradication. Hence, government's investment and support to small-scale fisheries will attract foreign exchange earnings and food security for Nigeria.